What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Orange County, you guys. And before we go ahead and get into it, you guys, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and have me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and get into this episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County, you guys. Shall we? All right, you guys. So I'm going to be honest with you guys real quick. I'm in a little bit of a bad mood right now because work has just pissed me off because I am at the end of my day and they've given me some new assignments to work. So I'm just frustrated right about now. Like that just pissed me off. I get off in literally an hour, and these people put some new work on my desk for me to do at 3:30 in the afternoon. Thank you. Let's see. Penelope, you came in here and joined us. What's up, D? D says JB keeping the ball rolling. I see. Okay. Yeah. OC, this episode was a good, this season of OC has been really good to me. So I ain't missing out one review. And I'm really sad that next week is the season finale of OC. So this episode, we pick up where we last ended last week's episode, and that was with Jan cussing Tamra the hell out. And I was, like I said last week, I was here for it, right? Still here for it this week. So we see Heather. So Heather asked Jan to come back in the room. And I'm like, okay, what you asking her to come back in the room for? So she asked her to come back in the room so that she and Tamara could talk, right? D says extra assignments at work on a Friday, diabolical. Yeah, it is very diabolical. And then guess what? This work that they just put on my desk, it ain't getting worked until Monday morning when I come in. So they have a problem with it. They can take it up with someone who gives a damn because it ain't me. But yeah, so so Heather got, like I said, Heather called Jen back into the room, right? And Heather, here's my thing with you. The fact that you were sitting there trying to say to Jen that, well, Shannon this and Shannon that, I was like, girl, what does Shannon have to do with the fact that her quote unquote friend was the one that was going around and, potentially investigating her boyfriend? Like, what does that have to do with Shannon? Yes, now here's what I'll say it now and I'll say it later in the review too. Shannon's hands ain't clean in this because Shannon and Tamra, I got a side eye for both of y'all because of the fact that y'all are having these conversations with each other about the other women, and it's like y'all look very shady and shisty, right? But also, what I can say is when it comes to Tamra, I'm not saying that Shannon is innocent by no means, but Tamra does things, and it's like, girl, you try to be sneaky and coy with what you're doing, and I think that's some of the stuff that happened, right? So my other problem with Heather is, so you're trying to sit here and blame Shannon, right? But weren't you the one that was just mad a few episodes ago about what Katie did to you? Like, I don't get Heather at all. I don't get her trying to run up behind Tamra. Like, it just makes absolutely no sense to me. Like, I'm so confused by the situation, but it is what it is, right? And so then Tamra goes one step further and says, "Well, we were on bad terms at that time." I was like, "Girl, bad." So because you're on bad terms with your friend, you then go and talk crap about her boyfriend, dig up dirt on her boyfriend. That's what you do to your friend that you're on bad terms with. When people do stuff like that, that means that the friendship didn't mean anything to you, and you ready to end and dissolve the friendship. That's what I typically think. You guys can definitely tell me what you think down in the comments section, but and on the live. But That's what I typically think. Let's see what D says. So D said, I said it before, now I'll say it again. Heather had it out for Shannon to begin with because she was so used to being the head honcho and the only one with wealth, a big family, and a big house. Yeah, I definitely do see that because it was so interesting to me for her to bring up Shannon. I was like, okay, yes, two wrongs don't make a right. So I'll give it to you and be like, okay, yeah, Shannon shouldn't have, her and Tamara shouldn't have been having the conversation, right? So I'll give you that. I'll let you have that one. So then after that, we see Jen. So Jen left and she went to Katie's room, right? And she was like, maybe I should just go for a walk. But Katie let her in anyways. So then after that, we see Shannon with her daughters. And, they went out. Now, the only thing that I will say to Shannon is my good sis Shannon. Babe, beloved, I really, 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 I don't think you're an alcoholic, but damn, can you go at least one time with going out without ordering a drink, Shannon? Like that is all I'm gonna ask of you, Shannon. Can we just get at least one episode where you're not ordering a vodka soda? Because yikes, Shannon. Because it's playing into Tamara's hand. Because Tamara said it once in this episode that you're drunk, and it is playing into her hand, unfortunately. And if you know anything about me, you know I'm not the biggest fan of Tamara's. Now, let's get to what D says. So D says the way they kept throwing shots at her being passive aggressive and nasty, and then gaslighting and playing victim when called out. I'm good on Heather and those two pulled up and those two pulled tight faces of hers. I was looking at her face later in the episode because I was like, because you can see the lines in her face. You can see the lines in her face. And I know she's a woman of a particular age, so I'm not shaming, not being shady or anything. But I was just saying the fact that them cameras were so close, I was like, girl, you can really see the lines in her face. So after that, like I said, Shannon was talking to her girls, and her girls were like, she's full of it. Talking about Tamara. I agree with that 100% that Tamara is full of crap. We know that. I think everybody knows that Tamara is two-faced. She's phony. I think we're all on the same page in agreement when it comes to Tamara Judge, right? So after that, where we go? Penelope says Heather gives me Grinch. Her husband looks younger than her. That is interesting, though, that Terry does look a little bit younger than Heather. Very interesting. Sorry, you guys. Y'all know I'm still working at the end of the day, so pay. So yeah. Now, moving on. So after that, we see as Heather and Tamara, they went out with each other, right? And I think they went to go have caviar and some stuff like that. And so they had Gina come and sit with them. Now, when Gina came and sat with them, they're talking about this situation with Jen, right? And once again, Tamra is making herself the victim. I'm like, ma'am, you went and did a whole, you say it's not a background check, but you did some digging into her man. So how are you the victim? And then you're saying that, oh, all Shannon is doing is trying to come between me and Jen's friendship. I was like, I don't know if I agree with that, but okay. I think which you could say, well, what Shannon did is a little too late. I think what she was trying to do was say, girl, she's trying to say I'm this and I'm that, but if she was such a good friend, she wouldn't have done this to you. I don't necessarily know she was trying to come in between y'all because y'all are not on good terms with each other at this current moment. So Tamara, shut up. And I love the fact that, Gina called her out. I was like, exactly. And Gina was like, well, how do I know you won't do this to me? I was like, hell, you don't know she won't do it to you. Like I've said plenty of times before, when it comes to Tamara, Tamra is a friend to no one. Tamra is equivalent to Hey Arnold Stewie, aka Ashley Darby. She's also similar to Lisa Renna. But the thing with, like I've said plenty of times before, the thing with Renna was, at least with Renna, she was somewhat fun. I know people don't like Renna, but I did like Renna. D says, I haven't forgotten when someone said Heather and Terry look like two other Purge masks from the movie franchise. I'm done. Not they look like the Purge mask. That damn, that's shady. Yeah, that's shady. Whoever even said that before. Wow. I can see it. I ain't trying to be funny, but I can actually see that. So, so we have two different scenes, right? And like I said, I am here for the whole situation that Gina called it out. Now, Tamra, you brought up Katie again, and the only reason that you brought up Katie is a deflection from the shit that you've done. Like that's all you were doing was deflecting. So they show a flashback scene when Tamra and her daughter went out with Katie and her daughter, right? So in that scene, Katie's daughter told Tamra them that she babysat for Emily, and Emily's two young kids said that they don't like Heather because she's mean to their mom and that she yells at their mom. Now, do I believe that the kids said that? No, I don't. I think that there may have been something that Katie could have brought to the table, and it's very weird. If that is what happened, it's very weird. But the thing that I have a problem with is Tamra. Like I said a few minutes ago, Tamra, you're only doing this to deflect and get the attention off of you because you know that you are a shady, shisty ass person. Like, Tamra, please miss me with the bull. Please miss me with all of the BS, Tamra, because that's all you are doing is just trying to deflect. When Gina called you out, you were like, oh, well, Gina just called me out, so I got to somehow figure out a way to get this off of me and move the heat onto somebody else. And that's exactly what you did with Katie. Like, you can't tell me otherwise when it comes to Tamra. Tamra is calculated and very manipulative. Like, girl, once again, please miss me with the bullshit, girl. Miss me with it. So then on the other side, we have it was Katie, it was Emily and Jen, right? So they're sitting down and they're talking about this as well. And so I have to say, y'all know I don't have issues when it comes to Emily, but I think that Emily, honestly, beloved, I think this could be your last season of this show because you're not really giving anything. I'm just gonna keep it real with you, beloved. You ain't giving shit. You ain't giving a damn thing to me. But you guys will tell me how you think and feel about it. But I did like the fact that Emily was saying that when it comes down to Ryan, whatever he may be doing, she has respect for him because of the fact that he was able to step in and be and help Jen with her kids. I'll give her that. I was like, that's a good point to make. Let's see what D says. So D says Tamara is a friend to her check, absolutely, and her dwindling 15 minutes of fame. Her own daughter called her out years ago for being abusive, neglectful, and a fame-obsessed narcissist. That's exactly what Tamara is. That is exactly what Tamara is, and that's why I've said it plenty of times before. When it comes to Tamara, the issue that Tamara has with Shannon, let's call a spade a spade. The real true issue that Tamara has with Shannon is the fact that Shannon was able to stay on OC after she and Vicky were fired from the show. And I think everything now is like her coming back at Shannon, like, oh well, Shannon, you stayed on the show and you didn't help me get my job or keep my orange and all that kind of stuff. But again, I've said it once and I've said it again. She is not a producer. She can't do anything with that stuff. So, girl, you're mad at the wrong person. Like, I really honestly think that that's what that is that everything because the whole friendship with Alexis, that doesn't even make sense to me. Like, that friendship is fake as hell and it's forced. because Tamra did not like Alexis when she was last on the show, but now you're just buddy buddy with Alexis. No, you're not. You're absolutely not. So we see as before the girls are going out to dinner, they're doing an etiquette class. I was like, if anybody on this class needs an etiquette class, Tamra needs to step to the front and be the first person into the door because you lack all kind of class, beloved. So we see as they get to the etiquette class, right? So I'm assuming everybody is constipated, right? Because Shannon is talking about she ain't used the bathroom in a few days. And we see a scene where Katie and Emily were talking, right? And I guess her GI doctor, if you don't stop calling back to back, if I didn't answer the first damn time, I'm not answering the second time. I hate when people do that dumb shit. So, oh God. D says I totally agree with you about Rena as well. She absolutely worked my nerves to no end, especially in those last couple of seasons. Yes, the last couple of seasons of Beverly Hills. Ooh, Rena was tap dance. Actually, it was Rena's last season where Rena was tap dancing on my nerve. You say, but there are plenty of moments where she had me cracking up and laughing, and I appreciate housewives who can do that more than anything. Exactly. I would have like when it comes to Tamra, I would like Tamra a lot more if she played it like Rena a little bit, but she plays it more like Ashley Darby. She plays it more like Ashley Darby. That's really what she does, in my personal opinion. D also says, I couldn't tell you any time when Tamara had me smiling or laughing. I'm always stone faced whenever she's on screen. Always in all caps with exclamation points. Yeah, so I can't remember. I think in the early because so here's the thing with OC. I've been off and on for years I've always watched OC, but I've been off and on. And it was the season. What was that woman's name that got slapped at the pool? Did she get slapped or did she get pushed? No, she got slapped at the pool. That was the only time I was really ever truly semi here for Tam. No, let me take that line back. I ain't never been here for Tamara. I'm right there with you, D. I ain't never been here for Tamara. I've never saw it for Tamara. I think the only time that I've ever found her semi interesting or fun is Trace Amigas. And that's because them heifers be drunk as hell. Speaking of drunk, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit once we get to the dinner. Because she's talking about, well, we can talk about it real quickly. The fact that she says that Shannon said that she gets drunk and she forgets what she says. I was like, oh, thank you, Shannon, for calling that out. That you ain't the only drunk at this table, that Tamara's a drunk as well. But let's backtrack. Um, Penelope says, I didn't like how they did Shannon, her drunk storyline, and this new girl antagonizing her. It was a bit much already, and then for Tamara to go on to out. Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Oh, okay. This was your first time watching OC. Okay. Well, you picked a good season to come back. You picked a good season to watch because the last few seasons of OC have not been good at all. Um, but what I will say is with Shannon, that storyline was going to be something. It was going to be something that they were going to talk about regardless. I think initially it was supposed to be a takedown season for Shannon with this DUI, but with them bringing Alexis back, that switched things because people start to feel bad for Shannon. So yeah, but for Tamara to pile on, it was too much. But like I said, I think the real reason why Tamara piled on is because of the fact that Tamara had gotten fired from the show and she was off the show for a few seasons, and Shannon remained on the show, and she felt the way about her friends staying on the show and her not being there. That's my opinion. Shout out to Tamra. It's my opinion, right? So here's my thing. So Tamra, huh, Tamra is now trying to say that because they showed us some text messages, right? And the text messages didn't really prove what she was trying to say about Shannon, because Shannon was saying that there was a child support case with one of her family members, and she was asking Tamara to look into. I think she was asking her to look into that, not look into Ryan. I think Tamara, like, no, I don't think Tamara's lying. Tamara is lying. And so then it came up at one point that Tamara is saying that Shannon called her and was telling her. So she's flipping the script now. So at first, in the beginning of the episode, she was saying that Shannon has sent her some text messages to investigate Ryan and to look up some stuff on Gina. But then she switches it later in the episode and says, "Oh no, she called me and we had the phone conversation." It's like, which one is it, Tamara? Is it she called you or did she text you? Again, I think you're lying. Penelope says, "Yeah, it did feel like a takedown season." I don't know. You don't like those type of seasons? Okay. Yeah. I mean, I typically don't like those type of seasons, but sometimes those are unfortunately the best seasons when they trying to take it's terrible for the one person that they're going against, but sometimes them can be some good seasons, right? Um, so after that, they're at this table, and so Jen is going off on Tamara, and I'm loving the fact that Jen is going off on Tamara at this etiquette table. But again, it's an etiquette table, right? And Jen is telling her, Tamara, you better watch your mouth. She said, "Oh, what is he going to put a hit on me?" I was like, "No, even worse. He's going to sue you," which is what Ryan is currently doing, right? So then we see as they left the etiquette class, right? So everybody's having their conversation. So Gina, Emily, and Shannon are talking. We see Katie and Jen talking, and then we see Heather and Tamara talking. So Heather is trying to tell Tamara to apologize to Jen. I was like, "Ma'am, she had ample opportunity to apologize earlier in the episode when Jen was going off on her. You could have said that in that moment, but you choose to wait to now to say it." Like, Heather, I got a side eye for you. I really, truly got a side eye for you. So now Tamara is wanting to call out the fact that she's saying that last year before the reunion, Shannon had called her because I guess there was some story out there about Gina pushing Travis down some stairs. So according to Tamra, Shannon wanted to look this information up, bring it to the reunion, and use it against Gina. Do I believe it? It's a possibility. But when it's coming from Tamra, I don't believe anything that Tamra says out of her lying mouth. Like, I just honestly don't. Now, we move on. And so we see the next day as the girls are getting ready to go out for the day. So they've split up. So it is Emily, um, Tamra, and Heather together, right? Then we got the other girls getting on the Sprinter van, and I'm not laughing at Shannon, but I will say that scene was kind of funny. Again, like I said, Shannon is constipated, right? So Shannon ain't been to the bathroom, and I mean, I do know what it's like when you constipated, baby. The cramps and everything, they hurt. So I knew exactly that pain she was feeling. And I was like, "Girl, just go get, an enema or something. Go get something just to, plug up there and just get it out." And that's exactly what she did. She got it out, right? So we see as with Emily, Heather, and Tamra, Emily said that she didn't even want to bring up this whole situation about what her kids supposedly said to Katie's daughter, but she had to address it because Big Mouth Tamra brought it up. And I was like, ugh. Again, like I said, it was deflection from Tamra. I don't want to go too deep into it because I do believe Emily that she wouldn't have a conversation in front of her kids about her friends like that. I do honestly believe Emily, but you guys can tell me what you think and feel, and we can leave it. You can leave it in the live or in the comments. Now, We see as they went out to dinner, right? So they were all talking at one point, and Shannon had her back to Heather, and Heather's like, are you annoyed with me?" And so, Shannon was like, "Well, let's go outside and have a conversation," right? So they went outside and they had the conversation. And what I will say is, I appreciated this conversation because it just kind of showed that Heather, girl, you're a liar. You have a little line, and you got a little line problem too, beloved. So Shannon's whole thing is she's upset about the fact that Heather had told the other girls, because she said Gina and Emily had told her that once she left the table, that Heather had told the girls about them back in Sonoma. And Heather says, well, Tamara had told me, so I'd already knew about it. So I didn't know that you didn't want me to tell the other women. And I'm so glad the production rolled that beautiful beam footage where they show where Shannon said, "I don't want the other girls to know." She says, "Yeah, they don't have to know. It's between us." But you went and told them anyways. D says, "I don't know what's going on with these ladies and their digestive system." I don't either. I was so confused. You say, "I don't play that." Bring on the fiber pills and magnesium supplements. I refuse to let constipation be my ministry again. Ew, God. Mm-mm. It'd be terrible. And the reason why it happened to me is because I didn't realize I hadn't gone it. I was like, it's kind of interesting. I haven't done it in a few days. And then I was like, oh, and then I felt the cramps and the pain. I was like, oh, this is the worst type of pain I've ever felt in my life. Now, fiber and anything with fiber, it does nothing for me. Like, I literally have to do it. I have to do an enema. Like, fiber does either an enema or apple juice. Those are the only two things that make me actually go. But fiber, because I've done some fiber pills before, and I was like, I don't feel nothing. I feel nothing. Not a damn thing. But so yeah, I'm glad that production rolled that footage to show that Heather, you are not telling the truth. Shannon actually did ask you not to tell the girls, but she did. But then she's like, "This is feeling bullshitty." I was like, "Well, Heather, the only person that's full of bullshit right about now would be you, beloved. Like, that's on you. Your friend, she tried to build a friendship with you, and you went back and told her business." So then Heather brought up the stuff between not Heather, but Shannon and David. I was like, damn, girl, we going that far back? Because David and Shannon have been divorced for God, how long they've been divorced now? It's been some years since they've been divorced. David is all, I mean, we know the situation with David that he was, D says, "Do you mean using fiber while you're already constipated or just while I'm constipated?" Wow, I've never done it in general. Just wow, it's just something about it when I'm doing when it's happening. It does nothing, nothing. It does nothing. Um. So after that, because like I said, Heather telling Shannon she feels like this is a little bullshitty. I was like, man, you just mad that you got called out. Like, it's okay. It's okay. You got called out. It happens to us all. Not all of us, not me. So then Shannon tells Heather that she didn't feel like there was any compassion coming from her. So Heather got upset about that. I was like, ma'am, if she asked you, I mean, do I feel like there was some compassion but when they were in Sonoma? I mean, I thought that Heather was sincere, but if Shannon didn't feel it, then I can't say that she should have. But I thought she was being a little I thought she was being sincere. So, oh, there's something else I forgot to mention because at one point, with Heather and Tamra, Heather, girl, you have a hard on for Katie too. Yes, I get it. Katie saying things, but ma'am, if it like none of the stuff is that deep, right? Now with the kids stuff, that is a little weird, but the whole paparazzi thing, that ain't that crucial or that deep. Now, going back into this restaurant where they are, Tamra is having a conversation with Gina, right? And telling Gina that, well, your good friend Shannon, she wanted us to look up information on Travis to see if you have pushed him down the stairs. And so Gina got pissed off, and Tamara was like, she's like, and the only reason why I'm telling you this, Gina, is because what you said earlier, it hurt my feelings, and I'm being a good friend to you. I was like, no, you're not. You're still shitty, Tamara. Like, you're still a terrible, shitty person. Because here's the thing: if you want to be a quote unquote good friend or real friend to Gina, when this shit happened, according to you, before the reunion last year, you would have sat down with Gina and been like, "Hey, Gina, girl, so me and Shannon, we had a conversation, and girl, guess what? Shannon trying to dig up the dirt on you and Travis, and you would have told her in that particular moment. You wouldn't have waited almost a year. Well, it's not a year, but you wouldn't have waited months to tell her this whole situation. You're only doing this now because it's convenient for you, and you're trying to come in between, you trying to cause friction. The same thing that you're accusing Shannon of doing with you and Jen. Like, it's a crock of bullshit, Tamra. It's a crock of bull. Like, I can't stand it. D says, oh no, it's not gonna do anything for you at that point. I mean, taking it in general, so I don't run into the issue. Calm magnesium powder would probably help. Okay, I will definitely look into making that some. Yeah, because I mean, at that point, my body's like, yeah, I don't know what you put this in here for, but it ain't doing nothing for us. But yeah, you guys, that's really all we got. But like I said earlier, when it comes down to Shannon and to both Tamra, y'all both do look a little shisty with the fact that y'all are having these side conversations about the women behind their back. It is a little shady and it is a little shisty. So if I'm gonna call Tamara out for it, I gotta call Shannon out for it as well. I gotta be equal. Can't just call Tamara out. But I can't call Tamara out where you are only bringing this up now for Shannon just to make yourself look good. Like, no, ma'am. D says, I don't know how we got on the human waste conversation, but let me get back on track. Jen clocked it when she said that Heather was downplaying what Tamara did, but keeps crying about Katie. FOH. Absolutely. So, but yeah, I want to actually want to go back to that. I did definitely want to go back to this. Jen clocked it when she said Heather was downplaying what Tamara did. 1000%. And you hit the nail on the head. It's the fact that she keeps crying about Katie. Like, I don't get it. It's so weird to me. Like, you are making a big fuss about her asking about paparazzi, but then you downplaying Jennifer. Like, it is what it is. Penelope's laughing at it. When is the reunion? So the reunion, I guess the reunion will air in 2 weeks, right? Because next Thursday is the season finale, which I'm really sad about. But next Thursday is the season finale, so after that we will get into the reunion. Now I don't know how many parts the reunion is. Also, the reunion is going to be on Halloween. No. The season finale is Halloween, and then the reunion is going to be start on November 7th. If it's a 2-part reunion, we'll wrap up on the 14th. If it's a 3-part, we'll wrap up on the 21st. D says, now now we got to get your thoughts on the reunion looks. So the reunion looks, I actually will say, although it's interesting to me, right, that of the franchises, only the black women have a color theme scheme that they always have to go with, and the white women never do. This ain't no shade to anybody that's white. I'm just saying what I always observe. There's never any kind of theme. Like for the dresses, they all dress however they want to dress. But what I will say is, for the reunion, I actually did like the looks. I didn't hate anybody. Well, one person's reunion look, I was just kind of confused by it, and it just looked. And the only reason I'm saying I was confused by the look is because the person looked like they were going to the club, and that's Gina. Because I don't know where Gina was going in that reunion outfit in that dress. That was a club dress. If I ain't never saw a club dress in my life, that so let's see. I think Jay's reality blog had posted it yesterday. If I can find Jay's channel. If I can find Jay's channel, I mean not channel, Twitter, and I'll bring up the looks. But yeah, overall, I think that they looked good. Um, Not upset with it. Do I have a favorite? Now, if you ask, do I have a favorite look from a reunion? Absolutely not. Because, all right. So I just saved the photo and I'm going to try to upload it up here and put it on the screen. But yeah, I think that they look pretty good. I think they looked good. Penelope says, "Yo, why the white women's never go? Yeah, they're never. They all look like they're going. They always all look like they're going to different events. Never looks cohesive. But when it comes to Atlanta, Potomac, and Married to Medicine, those women always have the same colors. The only time they look the same is when they do the cast photo. So here are the reunion looks. Like I said, you guys can see Gina. I just don't know what the hell Gina was. Where was Gina going? That is a club outfit. So we'll start up at the top with Shannon. I I like Shannon's look. I really do like Shannon's look. She looks great. Um, I like Heather's dress. I do. It's cute. I think the only person's dress that I don't like on here, really and truly, is Alexis's dress. Because then we got Katie next to Heather. I like Katie's look. Tamra, it is what it is. I don't really care one way or the other. Then at the bottom, we start with Gina. What I will say nice about Gina is I like Gina's hair. Love Gina. I like Gina's hair, but her dress is just very cocktail dress, like you going to the club. Very short. Um, you said is that brown? Who's brown? Because I'm actually looking at it on my phone. So let's see. I'm taking a look, you guys. I don't think anybody's dress is brown. I can't tell you. I can't tell what color Heather's dress is. I actually think Heather's dress, it could be brown, but it looks a little black as well. But I can't tell you guys what color it is. Now I will say I like Jen's look. I like Jen's look. It's cute. Emily, no comment. The dress, it's doing good for her figure, right? It's the hair that's blowing me with Emily, and then like I said, Alexis at the end. Well, what the fuck is that? You look uncomfortable, beloved. Oh, you said you have on shades and it made everything look brown. It's okay. D says Heather always looks boring and stale to me. It's always darker, muted colors with the same structure. I like that she showed some skin on the last reunion, but it still was all black amidst the colors. Yeah, I wish she would do something different. But yeah, those are the reunion looks. They look. I mean, it's to be expected. Now I don't when like I said earlier, when it comes to no offense to white people, but when it comes to the to the clear women, they don't typically go all out like the black housewives typically do, right? D says is Emily's hair darker and or brunette? Now I don't that's what I'm looking at. I don't know what's something's off about her hair. I don't know if it's them big ass curls. That's part of it, it's them curls. You say I don't think that works for it doesn't. It's like Karen with the blonde hair versus dark hair. You know, it's so interesting because I was watching the clip of Potomac recently where Karen had that dark hair, and Karen didn't look bad with the dark hair. It's just the fact that the dark hair, it was back in the era when Karen had still had terrible wigs, and that wig was still sitting behind her forehead. But the dark hair on Karen didn't look bad then, but we're so used to her with blonde. But yeah, you guys, that's it for OC. Yeah, that's it. I was thinking about going live to discuss the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills trailer, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. I think I'll just wait until we get to Beverly Hills, you guys. But yeah, that's it, you guys. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until next time, do me a solid favor, stay safe, take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I am going to see you guys later. So yeah, I don't think I have what else we got coming up. So I still got to finish Grotesquerie. I have not watched the rest of those episodes yet, but those will be up sometime soon. And then we have Love After Lockup tonight. And that's it for the weekend. But I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.